Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis was all smiles today as she walked into court for a hearing to determine if she should be disqualified from prosecuting former President Donald Trump.
The decision is now in the hands of Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee. Fox 5's Eric Perry is at the live desk now to break down those hours of closing arguments. Eric?
Yeah, Russ, Courtney, happy Friday to both. Judge McAfee says he has a lot to look over and hopes to have a final decision within the next 2 weeks. Now, both sides had an hour and 30 minutes to argue before the judge. Let's start with the defense. Attorney John Merchant, who represents Mike Roman, focused on conflict issue. He says this is a case of a matter of first impression and says we are here because of Willis's judgment. Former President Trump attorney Steve Sato says Willis and Wade were simply not truthful while on stand. He says cell phone records show that Willis and Wade's relationship started well before the date that they testified to. Defense attorneys also spent time arguing the speech Willis made at Big Bethel AME Church and says it was a deflection and it could taint a jury. The defense claims Willis pulled, quote, the race card and the God card.
We frankly couldn't care less if they had a personal relationship outside of work. That is not what the issue is here. The issue is that they began this relationship in 2019. They were dating for 2 years, and then she awarded him a contract where public money, either from Fulton County or the state of Georgia, ended up in his pockets.
Do you have to find that Wade and Willis lied? No. What you need to be able to find is that there is a concern, a legitimate concern based on the evidence in this case about their truthfulness.
She would have looked the members of that church in the face and say, there's been an allegation that I had a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade, and ladies and gentlemen of this congregation, it's true.
Yeah, those were just 3 of the defense attorneys there. There are a total of 9. Several defense attorneys also went on to talk about the money itself, saying Willis did not appropriately file documents about the money on trips with Wade and claimed that Wade spent up to $17,000 on the relationship over the years. So let's move to the state. We saw Fani Willis enter the courtroom and sit with her team. State prosecutor Adam Abate argued before the judge there's just not enough evidence in this case that Willis should not be removed from the case as well. He also worked to discredit several of the witnesses. He went on to argue that Willis's actions did not show that she was confirmed to benefit financially from this case.
Why would Ms. Willis repeatedly ask this court to set a trial date as soon as possible if her motive in prosecuting this case was to continue to financially gain, as alleged, from the prosecution of this case? It doesn't line up. It doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense for a reason, because it doesn't exist. If Ms. Willis's ultimate goal by hiring Mr. Wade was for her financial benefit, then she would put Mr. Wade on every single one of those cases.
Now, DA Fani Willis left the courtroom right after the state wrapped up closing arguments. Judge McAfee says his decision should come within 2 weeks and will be posted on the docket when it is reached. Courtney Russ, as Randy Travis reported yesterday, no matter the decision, either side is expected to appeal. This could further delay the start of the actual trial. At the live desk, I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
All right, a lot of people watching what happens with that. Eric, thanks.